the great thing about the EMP ecosystem. So, the last couple of weeks has been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of market movements, ups and downs. And, we've got potential things like inflation numbers coming out soon. But to the flip side of that, I know Ethereum is, today is the day they do their upgrade on their Ropsten public testnet, which is a really important milestone on the way to them to be able to release or merge over to Ethereum 2.0, which is now announced for August. But the news, the market, it's an up and down market. It's crypto. But the great thing about EMP ecosystem is what we can't control what happens to the market outside of that. But the great thing about the ecosystem is we actually have a large amount of control over our ability to stay above peg. Because all that needs to happen is that we need to manage our EMP emissions in the boardroom in a way that we maintain a peg of 1.01. So whether we buy EMP to get into the ecosystem or increase our investment in the ecosystem, we're buying EMP with fresh capital. That will drive the value of EMP up and push us above the 1.01. That's one way to do it. And the flip side is not to drop us below that particular point. It's just the smart investment of EMP in the ecosystem, not selling it, reinvesting it in the ecosystem. Both of those things, whether you're buying EMP or reinvesting productively in the ecosystem, is under your control. And because it's under your control, that means the peg and how far above peg we are is also under your control. It's under our control, really, as a community. So whatever the market is doing, as long as we stay above 1.01, what you'll see is you'll continually see EMP being printed in the boardroom, giving value to eShare. And with the value to eShare, that will then translate into the farm APRs, because the farm APRs are based on the value of eShare, because that's what they emit. They emit eShare. And what you'll also find is if our consistency to print, so our consistency to be above peg, will inherently continue to grow the value of eShares, which will continue to grow the value being emitted in the farm, because every time we print, it's based on a percentage of the circulating supply. What the amount of EMP emitted into the boardroom is based on a percentage of the circulating supply. Every print. So it's roughly around, let's just for argument's sake, it's roughly around 1% of EMP circulating supply is printed in the boardroom. Every print, if we are roughly around, say, 1.03 to 1.05 TWAP, so above peg. So if that happens, if you can imagine, every time we print, we're basing it on circulating supply, and then every time we print, the circulating supply goes up because we just printed 1% more. So every time we print, the circulating supply continues to go up, and that 1% continues to be a higher amount of EMP because the circulating supply is rising. It means that there's always extra value being added in the boardroom, meaning that there's extra value being added in eShare, meaning there's extra value being added onto the farms. And that's where the beauty of the EMP ecosystem, really, really shines, is that as a community, and I think as a seigniorage project community, we do it better than anyone else. I mean, if you look at Tomb's liquidity, for example, Tomb's liquidity right now in their native token is about 6 million. Our liquidity is 21 million. Tomb's liquidity is 6 million of a market cap of 40 million. Yes, they have a higher liquidity, a higher market cap, but their liquidity is, what's that, roughly about 12%, 13%, 14%, or 15% of their market cap. Our liquidity is 85%. And why that matters is because if you can think the market cap is just the number of tokens times the value of those tokens, that's the volume it needs to shift through the liquidity. If it was to all sell at once, which we never will, but if you can think 5%, 10%, whatever it is, needs to shift through that. We have such a massive amount of liquidity there to absorb that. It means that our liquidity pool can absorb sell pressure, meaning that we can stay above peg a lot easier than pretty much any other seigniorage project on any other chain. And so as a community, if we continue to do what we do in terms of positive actions to remain above peak, buying EMP or reinvesting in a positive way, it really doesn't matter what the market is doing. And I think LA said it best, is a long-term mindset is key. Ethereum will go up. I mean, Ethereum 2.0 is currently scheduled to launch in August. They've got a really important milestone happening today. If it all goes to plan, then we're going to see some massive appreciation. And if we maintain above peg, that's just going to reap massive rewards for everyone here.